Well, hello everyone. My name is Zachary O'Shea, and this is Box of Teeth. I don't just do horror role-playing content, I'm also a horror author as well. And in that vein, Psychopomps Book 2 for the Crimson Thread series comes out tomorrow, both in paperback and on Amazon Kindle. You can find that at www.zacharyoshea.com. But perhaps more importantly, if you want to get started in the series through this weekend to celebrate that, Greasepaint, its ebook, is completely free on Kindle through the weekend, starting tomorrow as well. So you can go get a look. If you want to stick around, I'm going to read you an excerpt from Greasepaint. This reading comes from Chapter 8 of Greasepaint, entitled The Sisters. "Where's Tom?" Harper asked again. Otto looked away from the gorgeous women into the fog and answered Harper. He headed off, I don't know, a different direction? It sounded like something heavy fell when I called out for him, but I mean, he's not that heavy. We need to find him. I never got your sister's last name, Conrad squinted, a sure sign of embarrassment his friends knew well. He focused on the woman pacing until she finally stopped, looked up at him, and beamed from behind tear-smeared makeup. The expression painted her in the perfect picture of a lady teetering on the brink and needing a big, strong man to rescue her. "Rachel," her voice artfully cracked. "My name is Rachel." "Rachel," Conrad tested the name on his tongue. It must have been sweet. "Don't worry, Rachel. We'll take care of you." "I'm sure you will." She wiped ruined mascara away with her sleeves. The motion left her bright eyes shadowed in a sultry way. Harper cleared her throat as loud as she could. "We need to find Tom." "Tom? I don't know. He's not with you guys?" Conrad frowned, shook his head. After a moment of scanning, he hopped up onto another downed tree nearby, held his hands out to the side in childlike glee as he walked its steep angle. Always the show-off. Rachel followed him with her eyes the entire way. At the top, Conrad planted one foot, cupped his hands to his mouth, and yelled their errant friend's name. The echo rolled through the forest. When he called out again, a flock of starlings burst into the air and darted away. Like dirt filling in a grave, silence settled in after the echoes faded. The expected animal noises were still missing, as was the wind that should be rustling the leaves and the distant babble of water. The world was holding its breath. Harper's heart lurched, her chest tightened. Something was wrong out there. Okay, that was an understatement. They'd just run across a murder scene with at least 2 victims, likely more they hadn't stumbled across yet. But something else, something deeper, was amiss. She couldn't quite put her finger on it. They were being hunted, it dawned on her. Worse, they were being driven along like lambs to the slaughter. Or maybe the woods were just spooky because her nerves were on edge. "Tom?" Conrad's voice held less confidence this time. It didn't echo far either. There was no response. Otto filled his thin chest to the brim and screamed, "Tom!" Harper pressed her palms to her queasy stomach but failed to quell it. Henry's hands rested atop Heather's demure shoulders. His attention moved from the woman to their faltering leader. Conrad slumped against a nearby branch, hung onto it, and watched the forest. His brave mask threatened to crumble. Steadily, the buzzing of insects and distant bird songs returned as if someone had turned up a stereo's volume. The renewed breeze slithered through the thorny trees, but felt as artificial as soundstage fans. The uncanny effect reminded Harper of a theme park ride, but without a guide cracking lame puns. Heather's cold fingers curled over Henry's warm ones. Her fingernails scratched back and forth across his knuckles until attention returned to her. A hint of pink tongue pressed to the side seam of her charred lips. Her fretful whisper was loud enough for everyone to hear. "We need to get moving before he finds us." All right, there we go. Still early on in Greasepaint. Obviously, some stuff is amiss. It's influenced by the slasher genre, but definitely has some twists and turns in it. Clearly a killer clown of some sort. Psychopomps is in the same world, but does not always involve all the same characters. It's a ghost story and a dark fantasy with its own twists and turns. I invite you to check them out. Again, you can go to www.zacharyoshea to do so. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful rest of the day.